If this is true, it changes everything. The Buffalo Bills find themselves at the center of another possible rule change following their exit from the playoffs at the hands of the Kansas City Chiefs. What's up, everybody? Welcome into Bills Digest. My name's Joe Cali. I'll be taking you through this possible rule change, all of the implications and whatnot. But before we do, make sure you like and subscribe. Lots of off-season content coming up. Unfortunately, the Bills did exit the playoffs and entered the off-season, but draft is coming up. Free agency will be coming up. Tampering period's coming up. So if you want all of those updates and more, you can find them all right here on Bills Digest. So make sure you like and subscribe. Now, I'm sure everybody here is familiar with this. No, just put it at that. They're familiar with this. Seen this circulating around online. The Bills can't convert on a 4th and 1. Josh Allen tush push. It's a 90% play. Didn't work for 90% of this game, in all honesty. They called it when it wasn't working, which, say what you want. But this photo looks like he may have made it. Is it the angle? One official spotted him past it. One official spotted him short. So their minds started melting after this game because it looked like for most of the contest, the Bills were getting spotted short. James Cook running. The announcers are even, 11 yards. 11 yards. Nope, 9. It's 2nd and 1 instead of 1st and 10. So a few discrepancies had people just kind of writhing about it. And this wasn't unfamiliar territory for the Bills, and certainly not for head coach Sean McDermott. As he says here, we went into the game, and one of my messages to the team, and this happens from time to time, is you're not going to get the calls. I think just when you prepare a team, you prepare them ahead of time mentally for this, the way it's going down, and you have to live with it. Paraphrasing, of course, but still, he knew going in. And I'm not a blame the refs fan. I cannot stand when that's the excuse, but there were definitely some calls where this was in question. Do not get me wrong. And that's kind of where I'm at this point. You have even, I guess, viewers in other sports businesses, right? The WWE had a big event last night. What is mentioned on the broadcast? By Wade Barrett. Well, I've not seen officiating this bad since the last Kansas City Chiefs game, which happened to be against the Bills, which caused all this discrepancy. Pat McAfee of the ESPN Pat McAfee show and former Colts kicker was there with him, prompted this response. So it's just not a great look when this just keeps coming back and living in people's heads rent-free. Now, yesterday, a report came out. Sports Illustrated jumped on it, but the NFL will consider measuring first downs electronically in the 2025 regular season. Now, this is big. The NFL doesn't change rules lightly. It's a century-long tradition to have rules, right? And they hang on to them like they can. Me personally, the rules are the rules. They leave it up to interpretation, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So there's a way out per se, right? It's perfectly imperfect in a way where the NFL can avoid criticism, even though they're receiving it, but the league itself can just avoid it because it's a human error situation. When you start getting into this territory, I think that's why they were avoiding it, but now there's a report they might be going to it. So it's definitely an interesting concept, and it centers around the Bills. Once again, the 13 seconds rule change, right? The dual overtime possession in the postseason. That was not a thing until the Bills lost to the Chiefs in a heartbreaker way. The Josh Allen rule, as so many call it now. I don't know how to feel about rules being made after the Bills play the Chiefs, but the officiating is in question with every team, especially any team that's playing the Kansas City Chiefs has been at the center of it, right? The Texans in the divisional round the week before, questionable calls on the Texans defense going after the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes slows down going out of bounds just so he gets hit and tries to draw a flag. Doesn't draw the flag because I think the refs actually saw that, but you get what I mean. The calls seem to go their way, and they continue to win games, ugly games, and make their way to the Super Bowl. So that's the frustration. It just so happened to be the Bills again, but if it's another Josh Allen rule, or whatever you want to call this one, I'm not going to complain because it might change officiating for the better at the hands of the Buffalo Bills. and at the sacrifice of a Super Bowl, I guess, if you have to think about it like that. But in all honesty, better officiating means better gameplay and less officiating in a way. You don't have the human error aspect anymore. So again, like I said, Sports Illustrated put out this: for a century, the NFL has entrusted the tricky task of measuring first downs to the quote-unquote chain gang, which the chains are such a primitive technology. I get it works, but they're, again, human error at the center of that. A group that, as its name implies, handles the chains and determines the 10-yard distances. However, the crew's role may soon change thanks to technology. This type of technology is not anything new, though. There's already a chip inside of the football, so I don't know if that's the way they're going to do it, but the league is considering using an electronic system to mark first downs in the 2025 season, according to a Saturday evening report from Mark Maskey of the Washington Post, a credible news organization. And this kind of blew up on X, on Instagram, any social media. It started swirling out of control. The system, which the NFL has tested in-game conditions in recent seasons, would involve the football being spotted manually by the on-field officials before the electronic system would determine whether the spot resulted in a first down. Crucially, according to Mask, the NFL would not use a chip in the ball to calibrate its spot, an advancement in long desired by fans. But the league experimented with tennis's revolutionary Hawkeye technology this past preseason, but opted not to use it in the regular season. So they opted out of it. And I guess if they tested it, they were already thinking about this. Maybe, they just needed a catalyst. Unfortunately, the Bills had to fall on the sword for it to happen. It's just kind of the way the cookie crumbled there. But is this a good thing? Are you on board with the officiating? Are you on board with the referees maybe getting a check with technology? Is there a certain system you'd like to see implemented? Are you okay with the chains? I think there's a lot of mixed criticism out there because the old, hardened football fans, if you will, are big on the integrity of the game, the chain gang, right? You're seeing things like this in the MLB, in baseball, the robot refs in the AAA, right? The minor leagues, the automatic challenge system. So you're already seeing technology sort of be integrated into professional major league sports, but the NFL really hasn't jumped on that yet. This would be really their first dip not in the preseason, the full-blown regular season into this. And I think it's for the better of the game at this point. If you're asking me, my opinion, I think this needs to happen. I'm not saying it's just because the calls go the Chiefs' way, but even some teams, and I'll throw the Bills under the bus. Josh Allen likes to flop when he gets touched. Josh Allen likes to do that stuff. He likes to, throw the arms in the air if he gets tapped and try and draw a flag. Like, there are certain things, not just the spot of the ball, with the officiating that I think would benefit. Is that really a roughing the passer? Is that really a pass interference or a holding, right? Oh, that was holding on the last play. Let's bring that back and throw the flag. I think there needs to be a greater level of, especially with the technology we have now, the camera work we have now. It's not, I don't think it's just me, at least. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on the robot officials? Not even that's a stretch, robot officials, but even just the advancement in technology being used for ball spotting, for penalties, things along those lines. Is that something you're interested in? And once again, it just seems to be the Buffalo Bills that this centers around. So the rule that, if this turns into a rule, that's two rules the Bills have changed in the postseason in big situations against the Kansas City Chiefs. So anything can really happen. Again, this is a preliminary report. If true, it can change everything. But who knows? The NFL could stay stubborn and really just kind of let things go the way they have been. And, it's fan interaction. It's talk about the game. So they might like that. Who knows? But let me know what you think down below. And thank you for watching Bills Digest. Make sure to like and subscribe for all your Bills injury updates, postseason updates now, draft news, legal tampering, free agent news, and more. We'll have it all right here for you on Bills Digest.